All right. Hello, everybody. It's a healthy numbers minutes today. I thought I'd squeeze one in. Got a beautiful day going on again, and we're trying to take advantage of it. Going to get out here and get in it here in just a minute. But I thought I'd bring out something. I really talk about this often at the beginning of summer, and that is water. Hey, yeah, glad to see you on. Here's the thing, and I know this here's the point of this topic, and the title is because this is serious stuff. And the title is, of course, Not Enough Water, It Can Kill You. And this is talking about an event that happened a few years back while I was still doing personal training. One of my clients called me up and told me about her husband getting into some serious problems because of dehydration. In fact, this person almost lost his life as a result of dehydration. And of course, he'd been out working in the yard. It was a hot day, and just did not consume enough water. And I know we're all guilty of this. You know, we're all guilty of not consuming enough water. We kind of take it for granted. It's just so easy not to do. It's one of those things where what's easy to do is also easy not to do. It's easy to get the right amount of water in every day. It's easy to get half your body weight in ounces of water each day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you get 100 ounces of water in. On hot days, like, when it's 100 degrees and, high humidities, and you're outside for any length of time, you need to increase that amount of water. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Jeff. So again, it's so easy just to ignore this, but this is, I constantly, over and over again, talk to my clients when I was training about making sure you got enough water. Our bodies are 70% water, okay? 70%. And 83% of our water or of our blood is water. 98% of everything that goes on in our digestive system, the intestinal juices, the gastric, the saliva, the pancreatic juices, all of those, is 98% water. So if you're not drinking enough water, guess what's happening to your digestive system? It's shot. Okay, so if we're not properly hydrated, of course, all the bodily functions are working at less than optimal performance. And so again, if you want to have thriving health, what are you going to do? You're going to drink your water, right? Absolutely. Good. All right, so extreme hydration. And this is what we're talking about with this person, with her husband. We're talking about extreme hydration. And it can lead to your death. It can. It can lead to some, if it doesn't kill you, it can still lead to some very serious complications. This person's been working out in the yard. Let me get a swig of water here. Okay? Got to have it. 2 of those a day. 74 ounces times 2. You can do it. All right, so the individual consumed about half of what he needed. So only about 40 ounces, 50 ounces for the day. And it was not enough. Went in and had dinner. And right after dinner, again, remember, and 98% of what goes on your digestive system is got to have water. All right, so guess what? This person has dinner, sits down, and a little while later, all his vital signs go haywire. And she thinks he's having a heart attack. They call 911 to get him there. And immediately they recognize dehydration, and they start giving him fluids. And, of course, by the time he got to the hospital, he's much better. But, again, they kept him overnight, but he checked out the next day. So, and I can relate to one of my closest relatives that, was not as fortunate. After a full weekend of working, and this has been several years ago, but after a full weekend of working out in the yard, doing his normal yard stuff, and staying out there pretty much all day for the whole weekend, very hot, very humid, typical Carolina weather, ended up having multiple strokes. And and so what's happening when you're dehydrated? And I always use it. I tell folks, if you've ever watched somebody or seen on TV or done it yourself where you're making gravy, you start out and it's really liquidy. But if you want a good old thick gravy, what do? You put it on the oven, on the stove, and you start cooking it down. What are you doing? You're getting rid of the water, right? You're cooking all the moisture out of it, and if you do it right, and if you want a nice thick gravy, then that's what you do. Or if you go too long, it becomes a paste. Well, it's the same thing happening in your body. When you're not properly hydrated, your blood thickens. And as it thickens, nothing in your body is working properly. What happened with this particular individual that had the strokes is that as his blood thickened, he had some clots that when that blood got thick, that was it. It cut off the blood flow to the brain, and as a result, he had multiple strokes. And it was simply the result of dehydration. So I just want to go over some water facts for you. Okay, number one, next to oxygen, water is the most important factor to your survival. Man has survived up to 90 days without food, but after about 72 hours without water will enter into a semi-comatose state before death. 72 hours. 90 days without food, 72 hours without water. All right, pure water is the best natural defense against all kinds of viruses, virus infections such as influenza and pneumonia. Water is a vital component of all body fluids, tissues, cells, lymph, blood, and glandular secretions. All right, it is the transportation system for vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, all of these things that make us healthy. They need water. It's a transportation system for that. Water flushes the toxins and salts from our body. I hear all these folks talking about detoxing. And one of the best things you can do on a daily basis is drink the water that your body requires. It is the number one detox you're going to use. Get that water in. Hey, how about a good old sweat out in the yard or sauna, steam room? Getting that, letting the water come out of your body. That's taking all those salts and all these impurities and the toxins out of your body, not to mention the other activities that take place when you drink lots of water. Your brain is 75% water. Wonder why you have trouble concentrating. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so if you're having troubles with concentration, make sure you've had your water. I remember when I was taking care of my father-in-law, whenever you could always tell when he was not drinking fluids, not drinking enough water, because he would get confused. He would get confused, or his speech would slur. And as soon as you got him to drink the water, guess what happened? All that brain fog cleared up. Your lungs, 80% water. Wonder why, if you struggle with exercise or if your energy is low. So 80% of your lungs are water. Red blood corpuscles, 69% water. And they're the key for transportation of the oxygen to the tissues of the body. Oxygen, again, if you want more energy, you got to have more oxygen. If you're not drinking enough water, guess what? You're not getting. It's all connected. All right. So, and cartilage. All right. One of the I asked my group on through our email stuff. What was some of the biggest concerns they had, or things that they had problems with, and one of the top things that came out was joint pain. And I know most of my friends and most of my clients that are, we're up in that age now where Wear and tear is playing a role in our joint pain and things like that, and injuries that we suffered and those types of things. But one of the key things you can do is make sure you're getting enough water. If your cartilage is, what is it, it's 55% water. When your cartilage in between the bones, in between the spinal column, all these things, anything that's got a cartilage type, is made primarily of cartilage, guess what's going to happen? If they get dehydrated, what happens to them? It's going to shrink, right? And guess what? You're going to get more discomfort as a result of that because the cushion has disappeared. So when those things when you're fully hydrated, guess what happens to the cartilage? All right, fills back up. So it gives you better protection, and it takes away some of that joint pain and the achiness of the joints. All right, so I just hope you get this, because we're heading into, most of us that are on this video, we're in the climate time of year where we know it's going to be hotter, it's going to be more humid, and we're going to be more active. So it's very easy to not get enough water and start to become dehydrated. And if you let that go on, then it can move into an extreme hydration point, and you can suffer some very serious life-threatening consequences as a result. So don't take it lightly. Make sure you've got your big jug. This is the way I measure. Half my body weight, is 100 ounces. I get more because I'm active. All right, I'm out, I'm working out. Work out very intensely, because I'm going to break a sweat, going to lose it. So drink your water, okay? However how you do it, whatever method, I know that when I've had 2 of these, I've got it covered. But you need to make sure you get your water in. It's the number one most important mineral of the body. Without it, nothing else is going to work right, okay? I hope you get the point, okay? So I know all of you are going to go out and make sure you get a big old bottle so you can keep up with your water. And I use, those of you know, I've been using steam distillers from WaterWise for years. It saves me on the cost of buying bottled water. So I just use that steam distiller, fill up. We keep that water, we use it for everything. So that way we've eliminated a lot of the toxins that are in regular tap water, and we're drinking the purest water we can get hold of. And that way we'll make sure we're working toward what? Thriving health. Okay, gang, that's it. Over and out. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope this information helped you. Please share with someone that needs to hear it. I know you know somebody that never drinks enough water. Make sure they hear this, okay? All right, over and out. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.